Hi everybody, Chris Stokes here from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio in Amarillo, Texas. Back today to talk about how you can lose fat faster with intervals. So yesterday we got to talk a little bit about how you can lose fat faster by minimizing your cardio time. If you didn't get to catch that one, go back and watch it. It was giving some good information about sprint training, sprint cardio, and again, sprint's not a bad word, it's a good thing. It just means that you're raising your heart rate. So go back and watch that one if you missed it. But today, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can lose fat faster with interval training. So a lot of people go into the gym and they do strictly cardio to lose fat, or they go into the gym and they kind of do this chaotic workout where they're doing so many reps on machines, but they're doing more of the circuit training, but it's not ever the same circuit, just kind of different things each time, and that a lot of people have this idea that that chaos training is going to get them where they want to be, and it does have its perks, but it's not a long-term solution to fat loss. So if you're looking for some fat loss tips here and you want to get that fat off quickest, the sprint training is your first step to going into it. Second step would be going into some interval training. Now again, we're going to use a word that some people aren't comfortable with here. It's high-intensity interval training. That's HIIT training. High-intensity interval training does not have to be something that hurts your joints. It does not have to be something that causes you pain in any way. Discomfort is okay, but pain, probably not. So high-intensity interval training means that you're going to take the same amount of work that you would, let's say on the elliptical, that you would normally run 45 minutes on the elliptical at a certain pace. So you would take the intensity of that and then squish it down into a shorter amount of time. So we would actually have maybe a 30-second interval of all-out work, followed by, say, a 10 to 20-second rest afterwards. HIIT training is not just Tabata training. You may have heard that word. Tabatas are a form of HIIT training, but it's not the only form. So there are different interval sets that you can use, depending on your goals and your body's needs and those kinds of things. A really good interval set is to go 30 seconds hard work with either a 30-second break or a 20-second break. Over time, you could progress that 30-second break down to a 20-second break, or you could progress that 20-second break down to a 10-second break. And that way, then you're getting more exercise done in less time. It's basically the goal. High-intensity interval training has nothing to do with impact. You do not have to be jumping. You do not have to be putting more force on the joints. You can do this with body weight. You can do it with light weights. You can do it with bands. I highly recommend bands. Again, did a video on this the other day, so if you missed that one, feel free to scroll back and find that one. But on the band training, it actually reduces the stress on the joints, so you don't have as much pain in the joints, as much impact in the joints from doing the excessive lifting. So whenever you're doing the lifts, depending on what you're doing and what goals you have, if you're trying to do heavier lifts anyways, you're grabbing those dumbbells, it's a lot of force with gravity on the joints. So by doing the band training, you can get the same results muscular-wise, but take the ease of the joints, if you will. So now I have tip number 2 in here, and tip number 2 is what to put into your HIIT training. So your high-intensity interval training is going to lose fat faster than your normal weightlifting cardio routine because it's going to put everything together. But then we want to look at what type of exercise, what type of movements are we going to put into this HIIT training. For me, I'm not going to put in, say, a static bicep curl or just a squat by itself. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the exercises and kind of combine them together so we get multi-joint activity. So rather than, say, a squat, we might have a squat with an arm curl with a shoulder press to be able to add movements together. The more movements you can add together, without overcomplicating things, obviously, the more that the body's going to have to work together to make those movements happen. So if you think about like a clean and press where you would pull up here and press overhead, you would get that squat movement, you would get the arm movement, the shoulder movement, you would get the triceps. Everything kind of fires together and works together, and then you begin working what's called chains of motion rather than actual muscle groups individually. You start to work the body as a kinetic chain, which then is going to give your body different types of results. So to burn fat fast, we want to be sure to do some great HIIT training. We want to have some interval training in there so that you're kind of going back and forth. Then we want to be able to add in those multi-joint movements so that way we're getting more bang for our buck, if you will, for each exercise that you're doing. And then on your off days from that, so if you're doing that, say, every other day, then that's where you would throw in that sprint cardio, okay? You throw those things together, and again, research-based, good quality exercises. I personally believe in foundational exercises, things that are tried and true that we know work and that keep your body safe from injury. You put all those types of things together and you're going to have an awesome program. Now, sometimes that seems a little overwhelming. Then you start Googling about Tabatas and HIIT training, and you're going to come up with a million different things. Sure, you can get on Pinterest and you can find a ton of workouts out there to try out that, HIIT training this and that and the other. But if you really want to have some good guidance, some research-backed, some just really a done-for-you plan that you know is going to keep you safe, get you to where you want to be in minimal time, and be able to help you to understand what you're doing better, then give us a call. 806-322-3188. Our team is here and ready to help out anybody who is in that setting, who is just struggling through a plateau perhaps, or maybe they haven't even gotten started yet. Maybe that's you today, that you just haven't quite reached that goal that you're wanting to reach. You know in your mind where you want to be, that you're not quite sure how to get there, and maybe you've tried some things before that worked, maybe you didn't, but you're ready to go again, or you're ready to get started for the first time. We want to help you today. Until the end of June, we will be happy to offer anyone who signs up with us for a consultation, just a consultation, come in and talk to us, see if it's the right fit for you. If you come in for that consultation, I personally will give you half off your first month of training with us, because I'm ready to be able to show you that differences can be made, and that exercise does not have to be terrible, and nutrition does not have to be terrible. Remember that we do work with everybody on exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle modifications, because we want to be the full answer for your goals. We want to be able to help you through that. So keep your ears open, because here pretty soon, probably in the next day or two, I'll be announcing our next challenge that's coming up. We'd love to have you as a part of that, so be sure to tune in for that, and when you hear about it, share it with your friends. We'll talk to you soon.